As any of you who've been following me know, I have a little bit of a stove fetish, so I have a tendency to buy stoves. I just like stoves. Alcohol stoves, isopro, canister stoves, wood stoves. I just like stoves. And recently I purchased this Graham Weenie Pro. This is made by a company called Batch Stoves. That's stoves with a Z. Guy who owns the business is a guy named Sam. I'm going to put a link down below to his website. You can check him out. He also has a YouTube channel. But the Graham Weenie Pro is particularly impressive because it is so small. Total weight on this little stove is 0.6 ounces. 0.6 ounces. Burns 1 ounce of alcohol at a time. It came with a kit. This is called a cold weather ring. And the beauty of the cold weather ring is that it works as a primer for cold weather. So you soak the cold weather ring in alcohol, fill the stove, and then light the wick, light the side, and it will bring the stove to bloom in about 20-25 seconds. We're going to test this. We're going to do a little burn on it. I have 12 ounces of water in a titanium pot. We're going to put 1 ounce of alcohol into the stove. We're going to see how long it takes to boil that 12 ounces of water. And then we're going to see what burnout time is. We'll be back. What we are going to do is we're going to soak this ring, this wick, this cold weather wrap with some denatured alcohol. You can get that completely soaked. I am dripping some on the pan, but that's okay. And we're going to put 1 ounce of denatured alcohol, that's pre-measured, into the stove. All right, that's 1 ounce denatured alcohol. And we have 12 ounces of water in this titanium pot. So what we're going to do is light the stove, and when this comes to bloom, we will start the timer, and we're going to see how long it takes to come to boil, and then we're going to leave it burning and see how long it takes to come to burn out. So let's light that up. You can see this will come to bloom relatively quickly. It is moving around a bit on this metal pizza tray because there is some alcohol underneath it. You can see it comes to bloom pretty quickly. Under 30 seconds soon. We got a good bloom going. So let's set the titanium pot on here. That's a good bloom. We'll set the pot on here, and we'll set the timer. And let's see how long it takes this to come to boil. So we are getting very close. We're getting close. We're going to lift this lid off, and we have boil. You can see that's a rolling boil. It's just under 5 minutes and 35 seconds. So very fast. And we are now going to see how long it takes for this to come to complete burnout on 1 ounce of alcohol. So we'll set this up here, and we'll be back. Okay, so as you can see, this little guy is a very impressive performer. Boiled 12 ounces of water in 5 minutes, 35 seconds, and had a burnout time on 1 ounce of alcohol of 15 minutes, 37 seconds. That is very impressive. I read an article recently online where they interviewed ultralight thru hikers and asked them what's the one thing they regretted not having. And the number one answer was a stove, because they missed hot meals. At 0.6 ounces, there's no excuse to not have a stove. This thing is also incredibly sturdy. The pot, as you saw, gets supported directly on the body of the stove. There is no pot stand involved with this. This little stove will support up to 200 pounds of weight. Obviously, you're never going to put it to that test, and I certainly wasn't going to stand on it, but 200 pounds on this little guy. So sturdy, well-constructed, quality item. Check out Batch Stoves, and we highly recommend the Graham Weenie Pro. This is Pepper from Pepper and Cricket Outdoors. Happy trails.